and welcome. After a very busy day like Monday, Tuesdays, well, they come with ease because, hey, we already set the pace rolling for you since yesterday. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria. And once again, welcome back, Mary.
Thank you very much,
We missed
Mazino.
you.
I missed you too.
Oh.
I missed you. Like, okay, Mazino, it's okay. Mazino, it's okay.
Oh.
But really, it's so good to be back. What is wrong with the folks in the kitchen? I have no idea what's going on with them. Seriously? Seriously? Is that the best you could come up with? Seriously? Seriously?
We'll never get this show started now.
Anyway, good morning and thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us.
Wow.
I do not know what's going on with the guys in the
That's
kitchen, but thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to another refreshing Tuesday edition of the show. It's a beautiful day already.
It is, and what a day to be happy for because Mary's back here. I'm not gonna stop. We actually did miss plenty of Mary, and yes, she's brought all of that, Mary back. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Okay, let's get the show started. Breakfast television like no other. Welcome. It's a pinch of delightfulness and, of course, a sprinkling of fun moments and a dash of all-round premium entertainment and hugs.
It is another family-themed edition of the most exciting breakfast television show, Wake Up Nigeria. Wake up already.
Yes,
Wake up.
indeed.
Don't sleep.
Mike, and of course, how you guys doing in the kitchen?
They're still asking
still
us.
laughing.
They're still asking
Your
us.
hug as well?
Mike and MM, they share a hug. That would be
It's
something.
good to have you back, Mary. It's good to have you
Oh,
back.
it's good to be
Welcome
back. Thank you.
And Mazino, guess you can't control yourself.
Well, it is a known fact here that I actually enjoy Mary's company. She's a very good friend.
Mazin, Mike,
You
I should join
you see what happens there? Mazino is a victim. That's all I have to say.
I don't
in this
understand.
scenario.
What
We are
is he
victims.
talking about?
Olamide Shegun, you can bear witness and testimony to this. We are victims.
In any
Okay.
case, as always, every single edition here promises to be a very, very good notch of great fun and all. We're going to get you guys into what's coming up for the show today. My name, of course, is Mazino Appeal.
And my name is Mary Bashua Alimi. Now remember, you can use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms to be a part of the best breakfast show on Nigerian television.
See us live on that television from absolutely anywhere you want to be. On mobile, actually, you can download the app, download it on iOS and on Google Play Store as well.
Yes, you can also watch us on GOTV channel 27 and on UHF channel 49.
Follow us across all our handles on social media, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all of them. It's at TVC Connect.
Okay, let's tell you what we have in stock for you for today's show, okay?
Yes, indeed. Now, we begin with a conversation with Jermaine Okwe of Jermaine Media. Now, he's an entertainment media company that specializes in events, coverage, social media influencing, and also marketing online and promotions. And right after that, we have parenting with Ochuko Prudence Daniel, and she will be discussing how to build focus and self-control in your child. Ochuko is a dynamic entrepreneur and also professional early childhood practitioner.
Now for a musical performance, Anim and Victory Ebuge will be joining with some soul-lifting music. We're looking forward to that one. Finally joining us on the couch for an interesting conversation as he makes a comeback to the music scenes is uber-talented singer, songwriter, actor and dancer Nonzo Bassey Anazuma Uchuku, popularly known as Nonzo Bassey.
And you're welcome.
Yes.
Tuesday edition here.
Great to have you. By the way, talking about music, I know we really talk about the Machala thingy, yeah? And the song is now back on streaming platforms. But so this is a funny thing. You heard about the 95% thing,
Yeah.
and then, but you know that this dude's voice is not on it at all.
At all, no.
It's 100%. And so I wonder. So someone tried to get you to hype something, and you ask for a 95% and all of that, and then you take it as your song, you own it.
Okay, so you know what they say about signing contracts.
I was going to say that.
So when you agree to something, at the point they did the song, they probably didn't expect it to be that big.
Yeah, then this is
Yes,
help
but
me, help me.
yes, help me thing. So that's the unfortunate part of being an upcoming artist. When you agree to something, it's binding. Like, okay, I will handle the the producer angle. I'm going to handle everything.
Now handle PR.
Don't worry, but just sing. Just give me your voice.
The funny thing is how the guy featured. So when we talk about music, the person that is sung, his voice is not there, is featuring the person.
It doesn't matter,
yes,
really.
that's what happens a lot these days.
The fact is, as long as there is some sort of, what do you call it now when you own something, rights to a product. If you do not have a signed contract, by law, it's 50-50.
I also believe that entertainment lawyers need to really create that awareness because first, I mean, that's where it starts from. They need to create that awareness that if you're a music artist or whatever it is, before you go into any contract, you read, these are the rules. These are the things that you need to do. These are prerogatives. These are things that you need to follow so that everybody is aware of these things to avoid issues like this.
It's interesting that you mentioned entertainment lawyer because I actually moderated an event on Friday, law and the entertainment industry, and it was an eye-opener.
You should tell us more about that inside the show because I think it's something people need to know.
Good morning. It's the news on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mike Messikena. Now it's official that the federal government, through the National Universities Commission, has withdrawn its earlier circular ordering vice chancellors, pro-chancellors, and governing councils to reopen federal universities. The new circular containing that order was signed by the Director of Finance and Account of the NUC, Sam Onazi. Though he did not explain why. The letter tagged, quote, "Withdrawal of circular party read, I have been directed to withdraw the NUC circular with a reference number and dated September 23rd, 2022 on the above. Consequently, the said circular stands withdrawn. All pro-councillors and chairmen of governing councils as well as vice-councillors of federal universities are to please note. Further development and information will be communicated to all relevant stakeholders." End quote. Away from that, the Bayelsa State Police Command has paraded 4 wanted suspects arrested for allegedly spearheading over 10 abductions in the last 7 years across the state. Others involved in cultism, unlawful possession of firearms, and pipeline vandalism are also paraded at the compound headquarters in Yenagoa. Details in this report.
The 4 suspects alleged to be responsible for major kidnapping incidents across Bayelsa State are among other 15 suspects paraded by the State Police Command in Yenagoa. Flamboyant social media big boy John Ewa, popularly known as John Lion, is among the suspects traced to Abuja in a recent police crackdown on criminal syndicates. The Bayelsa State Police Commissioner Ben Okolo says the wanted gang members are responsible for over 10 kidnap cases in the past 7 years.
The gang leader Emmanuel Charles Angase has confessed that on 30th June 2022 at about 0600 hours, himself, John Ewa, and others at large accosted Danjuma Omeje at the entrance of his house at Okaka, kidnapped him and fled in a blue Toyota Corolla car with registration number KJA 225AY. They took the victim to his camp at Osunikri, Oluwasiri, and released him on 14 July 2022 after collecting 60 million ransom. The suspects also confessed to the kidnap of Aki Oladele Olushola Ibanka and Nasi Keme Dixon, who was kidnapped on 26 December 2015. He also confessed to the kidnap of Chinonseze and other Igbo businessmen. The Bayelsa State Police Command has firmly resolved to make the state uncomfortable for criminals to rid the state of criminal elements.
Confessing the crime, the suspects confirmed the receipt of millions of naira in ransom payments.
It was 4 million, they now take 500, they gave me 3.5.
Who gave you?
It was a man, sir. We're just driving, I show, this is my boss house, or it's my former boss house. That was it.
And you showed Akib's house?
Yes, sir.
You showed them Akib's house?
Yes, sir.
About the kidnapping, yeah, I involved in it. But the leader is Bale. And the ransom I was told that Akim pay is 80. Then the other one is 45. That's what I know.
While assuring Bayelsans of continuous protection, the police chief says the suspects would be charged in court after due investigations are concluded.
That's all on the news for now. We'll take a time out now, and Mazino will return with the headlines of the dailies.
Good morning and welcome once again. Let's do the papers for a Tuesday morning, and if you're with me, we're already going to go. Now, for Tuesday, September 27th, the Punch newspaper is where we start, and we start out with this headline here. INEC can Sultan warn parties supporters against violence. Commission to publish voter register January 2023. SGF sues for peace. Avoid utterances, actions capable of causing violence. Sanwo-Olu and Yakubu Butel and Afenifere justifies Obi's endorsement. Tinubu's team fumes tackle Adebanjo. At the top of the Punch newspaper, mobile transactions hit 11 trillion naira in 8 months, say reports. And FG reverses varsity reopening order as to adamant. Remove petrol subsidy, implement PIA, LCCI tells FG, and groups demand sanctions as power collapse 7th time. And yes, 7th time indeed. Let's move on now to our next daily, and this morning we have with us here, let's see, The Guardian newspaper. And on the front page for The Guardian newspaper, INEC unveils ground rules for hitch-free issue-based campaigns. At the top, market prices at higher risk ahead of MPR's decision, and no going back on BVAS, e-transmission of results. INEC insists. That on page 3. On page 4, find this. Kaduna terrorists threatened to kill housewife, baby others in 48 hours. Sad story there. An ex-lawmaker kicks against state anniversaries, hails Emmanuel's feats. At the bottom of The Guardian newspaper, orgy of killings, abductions in play to Kaduna, and FG makes U-turn, withdraws order to reopen varsity. Let's move on now to our final paper this morning, and that is the Daily Sun. Front page of the Daily Sun, 2023 APC presidential campaign crisis widens. Some governors, NWC, complain may stay away from inauguration tomorrow and list not conclusive, campaign director say, and no plan to sack Keyamo as spokesman, says the presidency. At the very top, Atiku storms Enugu as Southeast receives Okowa as Igbo son. That's today. And that's it for the headlines here this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to another session for our Daily Banter, where we talk about what's been happening. So, what's up and about, guys? Interesting post on social media that's been making rounds. In Bauchi State, the government has actually ordered that secondary schools, public secondary schools, have their boys separated from their girls. So what happened yesterday is that secondary school students, boys, took to the streets in protest. They don't want it. You can't be doing this to us. The argument was that put forward by the state government was the fact that there is a prevalent state of immorality when it comes to the youth on social media. So they went ahead to say, you know what we're going to do? This is how we're going to attend to this. We're going to separate the boys from the girls. They reverted back to, I think, a 1978 constitution thingamajig. However, the kids are not finding it fun, and they say no. The argument out there, not mine, is that at this stage in life, where people are developing, especially sexually, it is not a good thing to do. Not that it's not a safe thing, but it has its impact. It has its... it
could have a triple effect.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's out there. You know, and I have my reservations.
So they call it a growing trend of indecent behavior
on online.
Both sexes.
But this is online, they argue. They say it's an online thing. To make it a physical thing and say, because of this online thing, we're going to separate you people. Is it really going to have any effect? Mary, you're smiling pensively.
No, I'm actually amused. I'm amused because my thoughts would definitely not align with every other person's.
Oh, let's hear it.
So the thing is, personally, I'm beginning to think it's time for us to go back to the old days. Yes, I'm sorry. I know many people are going to come after me for this. But it is my thoughts. Like, it's actually so intense for me that I'm even going as far as thinking of when boys and girls weren't even allowed to have so much conversation. Like, I know it's insane, especially regarding the fact that so much is going on in the world right now. Because, you know, there's one thing to see. There's another thing to have somebody to practice with. And so many mad things happen. My own problem is this. If you stop this...
I love where she's
See,
going.
if
and I
you
think
stop
that
this...
Mike, don't you agree?
If you stop this from happening in schools, if you separate them in schools, are you going to ban them from seeing each other after school?
Mike.
Like
So,
on the road?
look,
That's my issue.
For
Yes,
me,
sir.
the pick out for me, so I don't know, for me, some of the other boys or girls is the fact that teenagers are protesting. And I like the fact that younger people are having
A voice.
The voice.
you know, if they want something, how did they protest? I've not really looked
They walked
at
on the street
everything.
carrying placards.
They went on the
Yes.
street
Yeah,
carrying placards.
yes.
in uniform.
Yes,
In
their
uniform, and
uniforms.
if it was peaceful, then it is their constitutional right. But then I don't know if an underage has such rights. That's one other thing. I don't know if an underage, because in some kind of places, then the
That's called
guardians...
No, it doesn't. The guardians are supposed
The guardians,
to.
yeah,
wants to
intercede
check.
on
the guardians
behalf,
might,
yeah.
in this particular scenario, might be answering.
I do not
to
think
the
they will
law.
go out without their teacher's permission. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to
No,
put
that's why it's a
teachers in
protest.
trouble.
That's why it's a
But
protest. I
you
don't know.
cannot
think it was-
miss school like that.
So,
Yeah.
no, so my point now is that they might be answerable to the law if underage are not allowed to protest. Since they are not allowed to vote, then I don't think they have the right in that way, I am just saying. But then I like the fact that they are trying to make their voice heard, and if it was peaceful, then they should be given
Then
a
what do you
listening
think
ear.
about the mental implication of it?
What's mental
because
implication?
It's funny because I really hope they protest when their academic scores is
Drops.
below par.
Yeah.
You know, I hope they protest maybe when, for example, ASOL is on strike, right? They're protesting, right?
But they're still waiting for the
Anyway,
people who went to school
what
to
I have
graduate.
to say about this is they're teenagers. This is the point where their hormones are
Raging.
like they are hot. And if they're not giving them the chance to relate,
Express that.
What kind of
to
teenagers were
to
you?
communicate, to engage like it should, like nature made it
To be.
to be.
You'll have a problem. Thank you very much, MM. See,
I
this-
sure we are not encouraging.
This is what exactly. This is what I'm saying. For mental development, I think it is only okay that a boy and a girl, or in a community, boys interact with girls. When you put them out there after secondary school, how exactly are you expecting them to be able to do that? You
People
have
are
already
going to
warped their minds. You've already warped the way they communicate, especially communication. There's a thing, and I'm going to use the example of parents and kids here. When you shut your kid down all the time, I'm talking about when adults are talking to talk. When they go out into society, when they're grown up, you find out that in interviews you ask them, so what is your name?
They're not
They-
confident.
No eye contact.
Yeah.
They've a certain
They've
lack
lost-
of confidence
yes, they've
because
lost
of
it.
that kind of upbringing.
So-
when you do this to teenagers, it's the same thing.
But
only this
unfortunately,
time,
Mazino,
not
this
just mentally,
generation,
sexually as
this
well.
generation functions differently. They function
They're
on a
human.
different level. Those guys, you don't tell them, they don't listen. You don't tell them anything. They have a
They call
complete
them
mind of their
Gen
own.
Zs.
Do I? Yeah, they call them Gen Zs. Yes, I love their level of confidence. Oh, I am so here for it. I really wish I had that level of confidence when I was their age. But you know what? I think it is only going to do more damage, really. Allow these kids to do what they need to do. Am I saying that do not... I think what they're doing is basically restricting them, is controlling them. And what these kids do not need is control.
I
I
disagree
think
with
it is
you.
most important to educate them.
I was
So
scared
the
to
thing
say I
is this.
disagree with Evan because
Should I
she's
tell you
gonna get angry
something?
now.
Should I tell you
No,
something?
go ahead. If you want to disagree with me,
about
that's fine.
educating them.
Mary, don't be holding me like that. We're already in trouble.
Oh, okay. That's
We have
You
to
made
go
me
on
lose
break
my...
now.
Okay, so...
This was a serious discussion about the future. Hold on. Also,
You
wait.
see why they need to separate men and women? Mike, come and sit down here.
We're talking about the future of tomorrow.
Okay, let's get serious. Let's get serious. Okay, so the thing is
Maybe
this.
come and sit down
At this point, come and sit down if I agree. Oh, yeah. Come. So at this point, I think many young people need better chaperones. The problem is many young people are being allowed to just flow without control, and it's a big issue. Separating students in schools, well, I don't know how well that will work, because we know how people who attended same-sex schools ended up being homosexuals and the like. So I'm not quite sure how far that will go.
She went there.
But the reality... It's true now.
Oh, look at it go.
Touchdown! But the reality is this. When we're talking about male and female, having communication, a lot has been left to, oh, the children can handle it. Oh, my child is still innocent. Your child is not innocent, oh. YouTube alone, what it teaches young people. Your children are not innocent. People need to be aware of that.
Parenting expert, so we'll ask her that.
Yes.
Prudence Dana is going to join us. I'm simply going to end on this note that I do not think that the apparatus lies inside of secondary schools or with the teachers. I think it is something that actually is instilled from home. That's all I'm going to say.
Until you meet a guy you fall in love with.
We have to go on a quick break now, people.
Let's
Let's hear your
take a
thoughts,
break.
guys. Do you think that this policy should
try.
be implemented? Let us know on all our social media platforms at TVC Connect. We gotta go, people. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Welcome to the kitchen this beautiful Tuesday morning. And this breakfast, hey, is going to be really hot. Don't mind the height difference. Don't worry, we'll do just well. Today we've got Chef STK with us. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. I can't wait for breakfast because breakfast is something that is a favorite of many, especially if you're an African. How can you say you've not had jollof rice? But let's have Chef STK tell us what is for breakfast.
So we have my own special jollof rice today with chicken.
Okay, so as you can see, she's actually had the chicken marinated. But let's run through the ingredients. What are we making use of?
So we have sausage, we have onions.
Sausage in jollof.
Yes.
Ah, interesting.
That's why I said is my own special jollof rice.
Okay.
So we have pepper mix.
Okay, what's in the pepper mix?
We have tomatoes, onions, shombo, bell pepper, and the rest of it. All sorts, just together.
People are the ones making tatashe expensive. Tatashe is tatashe. Oh. This bell pepper, people are calling it. In fact, henceforth, I would say that bell pepper is different from tatashe, even though it's not.
And then I love a bit of color in my food, so we're going to put sweet corn.
Okay.
And then we have the seasoning, we have curry, we have thyme, we have bay leaf.
And of course, seasoning cubes as well.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what did you marinate the chicken with?
There is curry, there's garlic, there's ginger, there's a bit of oil.
Okay.
And then Maggi and salt. That's it.
Okay. All right. So what's the cooking process? Could you run me through it?
So we're going to start up with the frying of the sausage first, and then we remove it from the pot so it doesn't burn, you know. We don't need it
Why are
soggy.
we frying it?
We're going to fry it because I'm definitely going to put it at the end of the meal. But I don't need it soggy. I'm just going to fry it a bit.
Okay.
And then the pepper mix.
Okay.
So for me, I like cooking my jollof rice. I like making it like I'm making stew. So it's going to get done. So I have it in my head like, okay, if I'm going to switch to eating rice and stew, it's fine.
Okay.
You understand? So I like it.
So you can easily take stew
before you add the rice. Yes.
Okay.
So that's it. And then we're going to also sort out the chicken. And then final, for colors, to make it look nice, we're going to add our sweet corn.
Okay. Sweet corn, in most cases, is prepared already. So that makes it all the more easier.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get started. So first things first.
First of all, I need you to help me wash the rice and then soak it up. So while I do the
we'll do everything. But let's first show how you're going to make sort this one out. So the sausage, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what goes in. Okay. Yeah. So the pot is ready. We'll pour in the oil.
Yes.
To fry the sausage.
Yes.
Okay. Now, there are different ways to make jollof rice, and I know so many people have personalized the way they make jollof rice. For you, is this your signature, or you have other ways you make your jollof rice?
I have other ways. Sometimes I might not have to parboil per se.
Okay.
I might just leave it like that. But most times I prefer to do it like this because it comes out like really good.
Okay. Now, the stew part is what I find very interesting. Recently, I started doing stew using tomato paste. I never used to. I always believed tomatoes was enough. You don't need extra stuff in it. But I realized that it gives it a different taste. What makes it extra, gives it that extra oomph?
I have this mindset that if your pepper mix is not done,
if
it's not cooked well, your jollof rice doesn't come out well. Just tastes stale for me. Just has a bit of, you're tasting raw tomatoes and the rest of it.
It has to be properly
cooked. It has to be properly cooked.
Okay, on that note, we'll make sure we have everything properly cooked so that our guests can enjoy it to the fullest. Right now, though, let's join Mazino on the couch.
I'm sorry, but before the end of the show, I'm going to do something very mischievous to you, but I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. Or I'm not going to let the catfish out of the bag.
I am literally scared now.
Okay.
Like, I'm literally frightened, Mazino.
Don't worry, you'll be safe.
I wonder what you're up to.
In any case, now, let's talk parenting now with Ochuka Prudence Daniels, and she will be discussing how to build focus and self-confidence in your child. Of course, we all know her already. You are welcome, Ochuka. Good to have you.
Pleasure all the time.
Last week, we actually started this topic about focus in children and how perhaps maybe we're doing it wrong as parents. So now, let's get to it in practical terms. How do we build focus in our kids?
Yes, so this topic about building focus cannot be overemphasized. We need to say it more because for parents who are very rigid and structured, kind of box up, they are so academic, driving their children to do the structured academic learning, I would say that they're actually doing it wrongly and they need to switch. They're doing those children a disservice. That's because every child requires to build those executive function skills we've been speaking about before they are 12. Like,
before they're 12?
Yes, before they're 12.
So, what did you call them? Executive what now?
Executive function skills. Those are...
What are they?
Those are the... So sometimes they are like subconsciously built, but as an adult, those are the things that help you to function properly, like keep to time, remember a schedule, discipline, behave well in an environment, remember stuff, act, just accordingly.
Form yourself and all.
Exactly. So it has to do with some aspect of your brain built up connections when you are young. You actually develop them subconsciously. But so when you become
people who are tardy, people who are
so they picked it up from when they were
kids.
Yes.
Wow.
Either from people they were with or from the environment they found themselves. That's why you find in some corporate environment you go to the office and all the table is mixed up, and even though they can function, everywhere is upside down. They've internalized it to be a norm. Kind of, so.
Wow.
Yeah, but for some other persons, they can't walk when that chaos.
Yeah, making me think about myself and also my upbringing and then how I'm raising my child, because my wife has this problem with me. The fact that I have an entire room to myself and it's my dressing room. But I'm ashamed to say that it's in a mess, quite frankly. But I am, however, proud to say that I know where every single thing is. So when she goes in there to fix everything and everywhere is looking all prim and proper, I go in there the next morning, I'm like, where are my inner shirts? I can't find my jackets. Where? So I know everything is in that chaos, but, so I'm thinking it's perhaps maybe something that I didn't...
subconsciously picked up, but... there are remedial actions that can be done to save those kind of situations. And it's not like a dead end. So I would say that for a child, I always emphasize good diet. Even dehydration can cause lack of focus in a child.
Our diet?
Yes,
also
even dehydration. When children don't eat well, when they don't sleep well, and when they are dehydrated. So research shows that if your level, your optimum level of hydration drops by 1%, it can actually affect your concentration level or ability to focus properly.
I agree. I've experienced that actually as
well. And you can also relate that to sleep. So it's important that parents give their children the best diet, not all these quickies. And it's important that they rest well. Because even as an adult, when you sleep less, you have less sleep, you're not able to function optimally the next day as you would have if you had at least 6, 7, or 8 hours sleep.
Okay, and this is something that parents can pass on to kids by also the way they interact with their environment or time and all of that.
Yeah, so a structured lifestyle kind of like help there. So even short activities, you can break lump sum activities into chunks, into little chunks, such that the child is able to focus. So I finish this first before I get to this. and get to this. So mentally, the child is able to segment and work accordingly and not overwhelmed by it. Oh, there's so much to do. I'm confused right now.
There's no eating dinner and watching TV. You eat dinner and then you can see some TV.
Yeah, so that brings me to another point. I'm not a huge fan of screen, you know already.
Yeah, you said that plenty of times.
I'm not also a huge fan of rewards.
Oh.
Because when you do rewards as a motivation for children, it actually kind of limits their self-confidence. Because when a child depends on your reward or commendation, it's the motivation is no longer internal. It becomes external. And children do better with intrinsic motivation. Why? When you are able to see that you've achieved this amount of task and it's your efforts, something goes on mentally and it builds your strength within and you are able to go further, go a further step to achieve more. That is part of building a lifelong learning lifestyle and success.
Interesting.
Yeah, so some of the things you can do with children at a young age is playing a lot of games that helps memory. We call them memory games. We have memory games of numbers, puzzle.
Nice.
Yes, and a lot of practical life activities.
This is great. And
pouring water into a bottle and focusing on,
that's like a very tangible type
exactly.
of
So
exercise.
activities, threading a needle, you know, passing a thread through a needle and sewing a seam.
I never thought about it that way. That's interesting. And all this, they have to learn before they're 12 o'clock, otherwise it sticks.
12 years,
now,
yes.
We had a conversation on in the side of the kitchen earlier this morning, and this relates to focus. Now, it's the issue about the kids, the secondary school kids, however, in this case, who have been separated from the girls. And I asked you just before we came in, is this a good idea? Is this going to affect them in any way?
Of course, psychologically, it's going to affect them. When you put a bunch of, you know, same sex in one place and the diversity is totally lost because as humans, what separates us from other life forms is the fact that we're able to reason, we're able to relate with each other. Our intelligence is what actually separates us from other life forms. And when you begin to pack us in one, it just reduces that ability to be human. It's dehumanizing because nature has it that male, female, and we interact.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So what we have outside is a bus that will take you to the airport, and then from the airport, you're going to Bauchi to explain this to the Bauchi state government.
Oh, he should actually rather come to my school for some professional lectures. Because I won't give up my children time.
Consultation, please. It's not 95.5, we're near 150.50 in this one. This is consultation.
Yeah,
well, thank you very much.
Sure.
Always a pleasure to have you here with the right kind of
Always
information
a pleasure
we need
to
as
come.
parents. And we're looking forward to our next topic. Do stay tuned. We've got more coming your way inside of Wake Up Nigeria.
And we are back. Thanks for staying tuned, people. You're still tuned into Wake Up Nigeria, of course. We are set for an interesting conversation with Jermaine Okwe of Jermaine Media, an entertainment media company that specializes in events, coverage, social media, influencers, marketing, and online promotions. You are welcome, Jermaine. How are you doing this morning?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for having me, TVC.
All right, thanks for being here. So you came straight from the club. What's going on?
So you're really going to tell them about our personal conversation?
In the club. You know what's in my head? That 50 Cent song? Up in the club.
No, but I got to give it to you guys. You guys do this every morning.
Yes,
Shout out
we
to the
do.
presenters.
Thank you so much,
who work on
Jermaine.
television, who do this every morning, every night.
Yeah, thank you.
Amazing
thank you
job.
So much.
See, media isn't easy.
Yeah. So, I mean, you are in the entertainment industry, you're in the space from, you know, hanging out with celebrities to clubbing and putting in so much going on. Yeah. What's going on with you at the moment?
Jermaine Media is my brand. We started back in 2016.
Yeah.
Jermaine Media specializes in events, coverage, influencer marketing, you know, a lot of the showbiz things. So you're having an event where your go-to guys, you need promotions, we are go-to guys.
Okay, so what's the...
This year, we're focusing on, the proms. We try to specialize on, like, we try to make our own, like, say, programs, under Jermaine Media. So we started something called the Prom Tour, where we go to these schools and cover their proms.
What kind of schools? Public schools or
private schools, high schools.
Why private schools? Why not do public schools?
You're right, actually, but private schools are like our market. They've reached out to us in the past.
Yeah, because they're like the elitist brand,
I don't think that's it. We love everyone.
Okay.
But I think
just kidding.
but I think the private schools do proms. Proms are practiced all over the world.
Sure.
They're like graduation dinners for the graduating set.
Yeah.
So that's what we did this year. I wish they could play. That's it.
Okay. What school is that?
This is Grace College.
Okay.
This is St. Francis Catholic School.
Okay.
And the next is my alma mater, SCTR Regency. We're dancing to the
Sorry, say that again.
The final school is my alma mater, STNT Regency School.
Oh, okay.
So I went back to my high school.
Oh, okay.
To indulge them. They're all doing proms. So this was me meeting them, to, educate them about what we're about to do, the proms.
Okay.
And it was such a beautiful experience because proms, like I said, proms are practiced all over the world. They come with their gowns, some schools pull up with limousines. They just come to showcase their beauty. And just to see that this program was able to unite all of them, I'm so proud.
Okay.
I'm so proud.
So what's that? Okay. Apart from putting together the prom events,
covering.
Is there any lessons or any message or any?
Yeah. So it's pushing unity.
Okay.
If you see, that's like the whole set.
Okay.
Doing the dance. So there's this song by Crayon, Ijo Laba.
Yeah. I see that. That's what you guys.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So you see. You turn like a school program to something that unifies them all.
All right, great.
Normally some people say they don't want to come for prom, they're not going to come, but I use that opportunity to unite them one more time. So the message there is, unity, togetherness, love, team spirit, So at Jermaine Media, that's what we're trying to inculcate.
Okay, now let's talk about Obi's House.
Yes.
I mean, this your latest project. I mean, that's what you're...
Obi's House is not my latest project. Shout out to Obi's House, though, if you guys are watching. But I was there today because, some of the South African girls have been in town over the weekend. And, it's lovely. I love diverse cultures and, other cultures. So just having them in town, I really wanted to see them because I like Amapiano,
Oh, and I'm a piano person.
I'm an
All right, so which of the Amapiano songs, like your favorite at the moment?
I do really say, or you can do, Senkundele. They love them like that. They're good.
Okay.
But yeah, so Uncle Waffles, she's one of the most popular, South African DJs. She was playing at Obi's House today.
Okay.
Excuse me, and I had to be there.
Oh, great.
So it was beautiful to see that, on a Monday, a lot of people in Lagos will come out just to have fun.
I'm shocked. I mean, like,
it's a Monday night.
It's a working start of a week, working week.
But then, Echo Onibaje, like, Echo for show. Lagos is known for show.
Yeah.
So it was so beautiful to see that, and it's been happening, It's been happening it started at Boulevard, and they moved to a bigger venue.
Okay.
Hard Rock.
Okay.
So
is this like a reality TV show?
No, it's a live event.
Okay.
With a studio booth.
Okay.
And then there's just, everyone drinking and watching the entertainment, networking.
While having fun.
Yeah, so it's beautiful to see that Lagos can do that on a Monday. Lagos is the city.
Okay. Let's talk about the evolution of, influence marketing.
Yes.
I mean, this wasn't a thing few years ago.
True.
I mean, in the last 2 years, influence marketing has been like the wave of the moment.
True.
We see, the big brands even wanting to work with influencers.
Definitely.
Their brands. So where do you see this in the next, few years?
I see influencer marketing as the best way to promote in the next few years because I feel like influencer marketing focuses on the brand itself rather than the person.
Okay.
So how we started to do influencer marketing under Jermaine Media, under our brand, was in 2020, there was COVID, and everyone went back into, their hiding, went back into their houses.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, do we now end everything we've been doing for years now? No more events, no more, coverage, no more parties, no more... What happens to the brand, because we're so used to doing stuff outside.
Yeah.
So we then started a live show called BTS Behind the Story, giving a platform to young influencers, then it was 2020. That was like their come up, you know. And I realized that there's a lot of them, gone on the days where you have to be an artist or an actress or...
Okay, and then we saw all of that, your brand do so much in... So, where's your brand right now in regards to influence marketing? Where do we see Jermaine Media?
So that's the picture I was trying to paint.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to paint is, after giving them the platform in 2020, a lot of influencers came on the platform to talk about what they do and what they specialize in. So there are influencers for makeup, that's fashion. There are influencers that, food influencers, they talk about food. So influencers is like different personality traits. You're just influencing and showcasing what you do.
Okay.
So that's what I wanted to do first, give it a structure, understand how does it work, how does influencer marketing work.
Okay.
So you have influencers for different things.
Okay.
So started with influencers from Lagos, they went to Abuja, we started to have influencers from all over Nigeria come on the show.
Okay.
So you see that we're interviewing a lot of people. It was every Sunday.
All right.
And it went to,
So that's what
Ghana.
you guys are doing
That's what
now.
it was.
Okay.
A live show.
Okay.
Then as of 2021, it became a physical masterclass where we have speakers. Last year we had Sheya Awolowo come speak. We had Derenle Edun come speak. We had Caramel Plug.
All right.
Myself,
So you
and
had
there were guests.
okay.
So the students buy tickets to come, learn from the speakers. So you went from a live show, you're watching and learning on live, to it being a physical masterclass.
All right. Thank you so much. Wishing Jermaine Media all the best and your brand as well, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to. Okay, guys, yes, so much happening here on the show still. Let's see what's cooking in the kitchen. Mary, I hear that you're about to be surprised.
Okay, so this is... I'm not usually speechless, but now I'm becoming scared. Because this one that MM is saying, I hear you're about to be surprised. I'm just wondering, please, okay. So now, on a more serious note, though, we still have Chef STK in the kitchen with us this morning, preparing breakfast, jollof rice and chicken.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're wondering where most of the chicken went to, don't worry, they didn't go into my belly. They actually went into the air fryer. So far so good. Run us through what's...
Okay, so I'm parboiling the rice now.
Sorry, yeah, parboil rice and everything. This is inspection police. This is very unfair. Please, Mike, can
and
you
then
please...
the pepper mix is already here.
In this life, women supporting women is a scam.
It's a scam.
Inequality is too much in this our society.
Chef Goldenfish, we're here to support you, please.
What are you guys doing?
Remove it.
Oh my God.
Take it. Remove.
Want to give it to her?
As in, take it off.
Really?
Take it off.
Seriously?
How can you be this?
I wear size 43.
No.
It's too large
Is
for
it
her.
coming off? Is it coming off, Mike?
It's coming off.
So that she tightens to her chest like this.
With her full chest.
Seriously.
See, how can you wear? How many inches?
Oh, yeah.
Please, can you give it to Chef? Better. Please remove the other one.
Shoes.
Thank you.
I'm supporting you.
Can you imagine these guys? They
I'm
are taking
supporting
off
you.
my shoes.
Give it to our chef. Give it to our chef. Chef,
They've worn Mary before. When you come to the kitchen, remove your shoe.
please, chef. Thank you very much.
So this is the surprise you guys wanted to surprise.
It sure can go on now, Mike.
It can go on.
We'll
It's manageable.
Thank you. Men supporting women.
Right now. So back to our... You're taller.
Okay.
Well, back to our conversation. So tell us what you've done so far.
So I told you before.
Okay, so
I'm
we're parboiling the rice.
rice.
Okay.
Normally, I usually like to do it with hot water, but because of time. Then we have our pepper mix here. I've done the tin tomatoes, and then this is the pepper mix.
Okay, so I noticed you first fried the
tin tomatoes. Yes.
Why do people fry that first?
So there's this, tin tomatoes has this taste.
Okay.
So let the taste fade away a bit.
Okay, okay. So that is just for the taste to normalize and taste like normal stew. Okay, so are you adding anything to it? Seasoning?
Yes, I'm going to add more Maggi.
Okay, you already
because
put in some seasoning cubes.
Yeah, so I need the pepper mix to taste really sweet, so that by the time you put the rice doesn't swallow everything.
Okay.
So I'm still going to put more.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put bay leaf.
Okay.
But I'll need you to taste.
Okay. So it's going to taste like stew?
Yes.
Okay.
It's going to be done like proper stew. So if you want to change your mind now, change your mind.
No, I'm not changing my mind. I love stew. I love stew. When I was growing up, I hated bread and stew.
Wow.
But these days, I actually love it. Like, I could not stand bread and stew.
It's a
Anything dipped,
lifesaver.
I couldn't stand it. I could not understand why people would dip something, then it's now be soggy. But man, I'd been missing all my life. I had no idea. I'd been missing.
Try bread and egusi.
What is this time?
Yes, time.
Okay, time. Okay. This is
Curry.
curry.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I've always had a fear of curry in jollof rice, that it to make it yellower, like fried rice. But
For me, for fried rice, I don't put curry.
you use turmeric.
I don't.
What do you do? How do you get the yellow?
I don't get the yellow. I don't like those.
Oh, so you don't do fried yellow rice?
Nah.
Wow, I can't wait to taste our fried rice or see what it will look like. At this point, however, we have reached the top of the first hour. Now, remember, in the next 45 minutes, we'll have so much for you. But you need to stick with us, okay?
Welcome back, people, to the second hour here for Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. What a show. Can't believe the first hour is already gone. You missed quite a lot, and we humbled Mary. In fact, we humbled Mary. Do you know something? That Mary was actually still tiptoeing after we took her.
Because I did not want to put my feet on the bare floor.
She was doing this.
I wasn't doing that. I was doing like this because I was trying to balance.
You're evil. It's okay.
This is me tiptoeing. I wasn't doing this. It would have been obvious. I was just trying not...
It's okay.
Why am I explaining myself, by the way?
Let's continue the show, please.
Anyway, we have 45 minutes left and the time has already started to tick-tock, tick-tock, with every minute carefully curated with the thought of you.
Yes, it is your feel-good #1 breakfast television show here with the main purpose of being the stair to your right direction.
Indeed, and how do we do that? Just stay tuned and you'll discover. After all, we are the only breakfast television show in Nigeria that actually offers you breakfast. And talking about breakfast,
yeah,
I know I was in the kitchen like 2 minutes ago, but I don't know what's happening there. It
Once
feels like
Mike gets in the kitchen, it's a totally different show.
I don't, so I was here like this, I'm not peeing. Okay, I don't look. What are you doing, Jagaba?
My God.
She came in like MC Oluoma. Look at now. I'm afraid for the chicken now. I'm afraid for the chicken. I don't know what she's doing. Explain yourself. What are you doing?
I just want to remind our viewers that I'm on the show.
Okay.
So just giving them a bit of myself.
You just did one of the best interviews ever. So we know you're on the show. We know.
Nice!
I'm fine.
All I'll tell you, just be very careful.
Don't mind Mike.
Tell me about this.
Lax manners.
You marinated it overnight.
Overnight, yes.
Mike, take off your shoes.
It's sweet.
Take off your shoes.
I can even need that.
This
food makes sense. But you don't eat the chicken. We see today.
Well done, son.
Sorry.
In any case, this is not the show we set out for this morning, but
I don't know what's happening.
Mazino Appeal.
And my name is Mary Bashwa Alimi. Now remember, you can use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms to be a part of the best breakfast television show in Nigeria.
All right, let's get to the highlights now,
Yes.
shall we? So, still coming up here on today's show, something that's going to blow your mind, you guys. It's going to be fantastic. We've got some very interesting performance coming your way. If you guys should stick around, you guys are going to be finding out. Aneem was going to be performing for us a very interesting rendition of one of her works. Finally joining us on the couch for an interesting conversation as he makes a comeback to the music scene is uber-talented singer, songwriter, actor, and also dancer, Nonzo Bassey and Nozuma Ikechukwu. Wow. Nonzo Bassey is going to join us.
Will you guys wind the waist? Mazino, get up. When you are doing this one, you know it's to know.
So 5 men will just stand like that.
Mama, it is refreshing. We are used to the women being the one, but look at those abs.
And to be honest, Mike, I am really looking forward to having that interview with Nonzo because
Listen, we are going to reenact that.
I promise you.
Nonzo will be front.
I have thought about. I've thought in another world, in another multiverse. Do you guys fantasize? Do you fantasize?
Of course.
I don't want to talk about my fantasies.
No, but
Nobody
do you
asked
fantasize?
you about your fantasies.
Everybody does.
Does it? No, not everybody. Apparently not everybody. So there are times when you see somebody and okay, you're a biker already, yeah. So a lot of things. But there are times when you watch some sport and you feel like, oh,
I wish I was.
I wish I was there, or not. I wish you start putting yourself
in
that place. Like, oh, imagine I'm a Michael Jordan, I'm the best in the world.
What are your
fantasies? No, so there are times, you know, I'm talking about how it made exotic dancer, you know, sometimes.
I've never fantasized about
No, not that way. But like she said, it's refreshing.
Refreshing. We are used to women, you know, doing all the moves, and then women are like, what's all this? But now, this music video I made to watch.
This is a breakfast show. If this was a night show, I've done my own.
this show.
You guys are having way much fun on this show today.
There's something in the air.
There's Mary in the room. That's what happened.
Imagine if I started this news by whining now. Nah, I will scare my producer and director that way. It's the news now. Wake up, Nigeria. My name is Mike Messikeno. We kick off with politics, where a grassroots support group has thrown its weight behind the candidacy of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the APC presidential candidate for the 2023 elections. Now, this is coming less than 48 hours before the commencement of electioneering campaign. Sifon Essien reports.
Days before the formal commencement of electioneering, and this grassroots group has declared its support for the Tinubu Shetima candidacy. They converge on the Women Development Center to drum up more support and firm up their plans for marketing the APC flag bearers at the grassroots.
Well, we've seek to achieve greatness. We are very aware of the competence of His Excellency Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu. We know his antecedents, we know what he has done over time, and that is why we felt it is necessary for us to galvanize people who have like minds, who understand the ideology, for us to bring them together to achieve one common goal.
They are convinced the antecedents of the APC flag bearers give credence to their ability to emplace good governance in the country.
One of the major supports we are giving is the mobilization of our young people to understand the essence of governance, because governance is saying to be by example, and to many extent, this man has shown a lot of example. We have seen people who actually came from him, who actually are mentored by him, progressive in the country.
As the drumbeat gets louder, so is the quest for more progressive leadership. Sifon Essien, TVC News, Abuja.
And then outside Nigeria, at least 13 persons have been killed and many others injured after a gunman opened fire at a school in central Russia. A statement by Russia's investigative committee disclosed that 6 adults and 7 minors were killed, while 14 children and 7 adults were injured in the school in Izevsk. Reports say the gunman killed himself, as the motive for the attack is still unclear. Staff and pupils have been evacuated from the school buildings. The school is in the center of the Izevsk, which is a city of about 650,000 residents, close to central government buildings. And that's it on the news for today. We'll take this time out now. There's quite a bit more to come on the show. Stay with us.
It's the men that are supposed to be doing the dance this time. All I can say is, what a rush.
Amen.
I don't know if you guys caught the clip of us dancing. They dragged me and I could not even move. I don't know why they like setting me up. I have accepted, I have owned it. I do not know how to dance. Is there a problem in that? Anyway.
At this point, you already know who we're about to introduce, who is with us here on the couch live. It is Nonzo Bassey.
Yes, he's making his comeback into the music scenes. This guy is a uber talented singer, songwriter, actor, dancer. Wow.
Look at those 6 packs.
Renitin. It's so good that you didn't see what did just now. So
anyway, so good to have you here. It's really good to have you.
So happy to be
here.
So
I caught up on that video over the weekend. I think I just popped into my timeline and then I saw it. And I'm like, I just became curious for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan from the 411.
Yes.
Yeah, that was your first single.
Yes.
And then this one. So sometimes I got on to YouTube, I checked it, I watched the video. And I'm like, this is an awakening for the brand Nonzo Bassey.
Yes.
I mean, I could see it like literally reeking through your pores.
Yes.
It was like an awareness for you, like you've just come into your awareness with this video.
You are hyperventilating. Okay, let's go. She's gushing, literally.
How did you get to this point? You really need to talk us through this, journey.
Yo, first of all, thank you so much for having me here.
Our pleasure.
I'm having such a good time. I came into the industry roughly 2015.
Okay.
And since then, just trying to do what I love to do. Because this is what I came from Calabar to do. When I started off doing film after I was on The Voice, it affected me in a way that I didn't expect it would. Because people in film thought that, okay, who is this musician that they're giving all our roles to? And then people in music thought, oh, you're not even serious about music. And then I was with a record label that, things didn't go so well. Nothing much was happening there. And 2019, I decided, okay, you know what? I need to take a step back and figure out what my voice is, how I want to use it, what I want to do moving forward. And it's like the universe or God or whatever, I don't know, just made everything in my life stop. And it was just such a painful period, personal darkness, lots of...
And then you lost your mom?
I lost my mom at the top of it last year. It was crazy. And it was just amazing how somehow light just got switched on in my head. Because it was like I was in this dark place. And it's in the depth of the earth that you find all the gold.
Yeah,
exactly.
So the darkest cave contains the greatest treasures. And I just found this confidence I used to have as a child. I used to dance, and a lot of people didn't know that I could dance.
I didn't know you could dance.
Yeah, and I was just, when I came in, people thought that I was just this serious, just this guy. But I'm a mess. I'm very, very unserious. And just coming back, just remembering the essence of who I am. And just making sure that all of that stuff shows. And it was important for me to put out Toyo first because I wrote it in a very angry place, like, in the depth of all of that anger. And so I just want to get all of that out. It does
Someone
something
did something to you.
A lot of
But what does it mean, though?
So, Sempawonam Yang Toyo means I'll remember
what you did to me.
Somebody has done. Sempawonam, waiting person do.
Oh, so that's why she can identify with it. We can understand. But I'm very curious about something, okay? I'm going to take you to your roots now, because you mentioned your mom.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's me thinking that you have this extraordinary bond with your mom, or it's just my imagination, because I know your dad is from Imo State.
Yes.
And your mom is from Cross River. Yet your surname is...
My middle name, actually.
It's your middle name?
Yes.
Aha.
So my names are Nonzo Bassey and Nozoma Iwuchukwu. So my stage name used to be Nonzo Bassey.
Okay.
But
used to. Now it's Nonzo.
Nonzo. So I took the Z from Anozuma. So Anozuma was the name that they used to call me because I was the class prefect of every class. I was the school prefect of every school.
And you say you're not serious.
And so that was the name my principals and my parents used to call me when they need me to step up and be responsible for myself. And so coming out of all of that, I needed a name that represents this person that, now taking charge of my life and all of that. And so I used to call myself Anozuma. Anytime I need to get something done, I know that maybe I'm procrastinating, I'll call myself Anozuma.
Okay.
Let's get it. So Anozuma, in a sense, needed to come back into the driving seat.
Anozuma means what?
It means now I go day well. Now I'm settled.
Okay.
I'm Anozuma, like right. Now I'm a day.
Okay. Okay.
So I needed the essence of that back in my life. And so I put the Z from Anozuma into Nonzo, and now it's Nonzo.
But technically it's Nonzoma. Yeah, Nonzo. So we could say that's where you got it from. So it's all good.
It's all good.
So let's talk about the response you got after you did La Femme Angela. How did that affect you as a creative?
It's funny how everything, learning to trust the process is an amazing thing. It's easy to say, but experiencing that is the hardest thing.
It's quite hard, yeah.
And it happened to me like when all of this stuff was going on in my life at 2019 when it really all started. And so it just tied into what the character Dejare was going through. Because at the top of because I used to be bigger than I was. I was more muscular and all of that. Yeah. And at the time when we had to, because we broke the shoot into bits, the parts where we shot in Lagos and the parts where we shot in South Africa, and there's a weight difference. And so, like, Dejari had gone through a lot in his life, and, you know, by the time he had moved to South Africa, he was slimmer because, you know, the troubles of life.
Yeah.
So everything just made sense.
Yeah.
And I'm just so thankful for how it turned out, because there was a scene we shot, a rape scene, and that night, by the time I drove home, I started hearing voices. It was dark. And so I respect this work, because it's not easy. Because,
what kind of voices were you hearing?
So I used to live upstairs, and outside my window is air. So there is nobody back there. So I'm like, where are the voices? Because my bed, the head of my bed was by the wall. And so I'm like, so I was like, who?
Yeah, the victims that lost their lives were thanking you.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's
I
possible.
don't know. And I just remembered, you know, back in church, you know, when you act like the drummers, the pastor will pray for you people that nothing that you acted will be your portion, you know, like if you play
Yeah.
So I just remembered all of those prayers and, I used to fire prayer. I beg you. Please, that's Dejari, that's not me.
You know, I was going to ask you about 2021, but first we need to take a look at your work and maybe get you to move your waist a bit.
Yeah.
See, I'll be very honest with you. When I saw the video, I was happy.
Oh, yeah?
Happy because women tend to be, in quotes, objectified in music videos.
Right.
So it's actually, I used the word refreshing earlier.
Yeah.
To watch men strut their stuff, like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We're talking equality these days.
Yeah.
Break the bias. Men too can look good in front of the camera. So just, let's go to the kitchen right now.
But let's see your music
And
video
let's watch you.
All right.
Dance now. Get
I didn't know that was, what was that caliber, yeah?
Yes.
Ibibio,
Yeah, he told us the meaning.
Yeah.
I didn't know until just now that was what it was. I thought you were probably singing in some R&B English.
Can you imagine?
I saw that scene by the fire. One of my guys, Ralph, is there. Ralph is here with you.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Our guest is about to have breakfast, but somehow Mike Mesikeno already has toothpick. I don't understand.
Focus on the
Thank you so much for joining us in the kitchen, Nonzo. Okay, so breakfast is by Chef STK. Who has made? Tell us what you made.
I made jollof rice, my special jollof rice, and chicken.
Nice.
All right, can't wait to taste
Enjoy.
So please dig in. We want to know your feedback. Yeah. So you see bits of sausages, air-fried chicken, and everything was made here. Yeah, digging. We want your opinion on this.
We want you to toyo this one, no?
An actor will always be an actor.
It's okay.
The chicken is okay.
Unless you have natural kulao.
I beg you.
Ooh.
Fantastic. That's beautiful. If we...
This one don't pass rice.
All the sound effects you are doing here.
Chef STK, is it
Do you
golden
like
fish?
it? No. 1 to 10.
Thank you very much.
It takes you back home. Wow.
That's nice.
Okay, at this point, we would like to say a very big thank you to everyone who has been a part of the show today. Thanks to the crew. Thanks to you for watching. Thanks to all our guests. And thank you so much for being here, Nonzo.
Thank you.
We're so glad to be a part of your comeback.
Take off your shirts. Take it off.
Please join us tomorrow. MM is not usually like this, I promise you. We'll be here bright and early tomorrow, 7 a.m. Go and hide.